This is a team that goes 50-50 in a lot of their games. So to have that positive win rate says a lot about Scout and his impact on this Azir.
Even though we have a Wukong, I'm looking towards the mid lane here. With FLICKR taking the Echo into the jungle, it means that 2 people now in this series have played the Echo on the side of OMG. But let me take you into Summoner's Rift. Let's hope it's a nice, long game, because I want to see those late game team fights. I want to see the blood shed between OMG and EDG and see if OMG can fight back. Otherwise, EDG will secure their playoff position for them and for top.
OMG desperately want a win here, but with the style of composition they're going for, it definitely relies on them waiting until that later point. Team fights are going to be great for them. You've got Curse who can come in on a flank in the back line, disrupt a bunch of people. You've got FLICKR as well who can come over the top with that parallel convergence to try and enact on top of the ultimate that's already been set up from the Wukong. So flanks galore again for OMG, but this is where they struggled to set up in that last game.
Why would you ever trust the Colonel? Outside of Chicken. Honestly. He doesn't know which direction. He points up. And then it comes back down. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just hangry. You know what I could do right now? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Obviously KFC. that was my Brad point. Hey, Dark Harvest, as we see an invade coming through here. I'm going to pause. Ready for blood.
EDG will just be able to pick up this blue buff instead. So we do see the Dark Harvest come in onto FLICKR. We've seen the Electrocute come through a lot more, where you're looking to try and go for these dive and get the ganks and get the Electrocute proc off to set yourself up. But what we talked about was that EDG have control of this game to begin with. You have to try and respect that as FLICKR here. So I think going with the Dark Harvest, still get access to the domination tree, but not going for the Electrocute, because he's not going for this gank. He's looking more to try and poke and prod and see if he can get extra damage off with his Q.
That's good. I thought the turnaround was going to be pretty big there from SMLZ, and he does get the trade back onto Hope and Mako. I just noticed as well that the Dark Harvest is a Beisheng rune at this point, right? Whenever WE's jungler Beisheng takes Echo in the jungle, it is a Dark Harvest consistently, and he's been the only person to really do it over and over again. So for FLICKR, the imitation is there, at least real, as Jer is still towards the enemy side of the jungle. Mako's Nautilus on a Kassadin.
They want to really ruin Icon stay here, but FLICKR's in the wings.
Okay, Dredgeline connects, so FLICKR might be here, but is Icon just dead? I'll answer that for you with a big fat yes. Mako doesn't get traded away, he flashes away. FLICKR dead as well. Double kill for Azir mid, as Cold's coming through with the TP there as well. He flashes onto the backline on top of Scout. He gets the kill, but now Cold has suicided as well. Icon to come through, but he can't do a thing.
Jinnu in this top lane though, Curse might have got him.
I mean, Maokai will be able to Bramble smash away. I think he's okay for now. But 2 kills, or 3 in the end, versus 1.
And 2 of them went over towards Scout. So Scout now has set himself up with this Stinger already. Going to be able to put a lot more damage onto Icon in this lane, as well as Icon losing out on a good amount of that gold and experience by being zoned off by EDG as that wave hit the tower.
Oh, Stinger first feels bad, man, if you're Icon in this lane. That's going to be punishing. OMG going for an invade here, but JJ's already back on the map. Scout 2.
Scout is moving across here as well, so they're trying to set up EDG here to pick off more.
And he's on this parallel convergence, going in for the engage of 2 versus 2, but Jinnu's getting low, and he was low from the earlier trade, so not sure about that one. And Scout just moving forward as well. Curse will use the clone and disappear.
Scout had begun to move and then backed off towards the lane once again, so EDG not entirely on the same page there, and it means that Jinnu does end up going down, even with his flash still up.
So net win on OMG in the back of that play, but Icon's still here in the mid lane. He doesn't have flash from the previous play. They're going to teleport through. As the minion wave is pushing in, Icon has some leeway to work with. As Curse with the pressure means EDG have to back away.
You see both teams putting a lot of eyes onto this Kassadin pick though. OMG trying to keep Icon as safe as possible and get some farm into this Kassadin, whereas EDG are trying to shut him down as quickly as possible before he hits that level 6 point and becomes a little bit more difficult to do so.
All right, after all is said and done, EDG with an 800 gold lead there. No big CS lead. Top lane's actually more even than you'd expect at this point as well, but a kill now on top of Curse. And Wukong set up to succeed after all the early shenanigans.
So the way OMG are trying to get themselves set up for success is obviously have Icon scale into the late game, but they really want to try and get some golden kills over towards Curse and Hacker. This is the 3-man dive that you're looking at between Hacker, Curse, and Icon. If they can get ahead here, they're going to be in absolutely stellar shape. But the problem is, you're going to have to try and get past the likes of JJ, Jinnu as well, who's going to have that ultimate to try and lock down multiple members. So coordinating in these fights for OMG is going to be a little bit more difficult than it initially would have been.
Look across at Ivan once again as Curse is going in for the engage here on Jinnu just to poke him out. Early bits of Ruby Crystals and a longsword towards his top side. More importantly, we've got the jungle upgrade here for JJ, who just clears across the mid wave yet again here to help Scout push who's running out of mana.
So again, this is where JJ will have control of this early game. You've got push in the mid, push in boss, although a fight is kicking off right as JJ comes down here.
Only a simple trade right now. Hope's only going to do a bit of damage. Nothing to see.
So if we're just going to start trading back and forth like this, you can see it's going to work out for OMG. Hacker is I wanted to nearly say Beishang. Hacker is going to start farming up in this Echo. He's going to get his items under check. Curse is working up towards this Phage. Still could go towards the Black Cleaver, which I think will be great into this matchup against Jinnu, just for the cleave. And as well, you've got a tier completed onto Icon now, who's going to start stacking that up. But EDG want to start making these early game plays, and that's why JJ is again down in this bottom side.
But SMLZ and Cold are being epically cautious here. JJ will get spotted out if he goes through River. He doesn't have his flash available to follow up on the pillar. And Mako now relies on him. Make it rain right down onto SMLZ. The pillar perfect. He flashes and heals away, and Cold is left by himself. That was brilliant from Mako, from EDG, giving Hope a kill.
And EDG set that up perfectly. They even had Scout roaming down so then they could dive the tower if needs be with the Emperor's Divide available on the Azir. So EDG are looking to use this blame pressure that we were talking about, where winning mid, winning bot, and look for advantages in conjunction with JJ.
With that kill as well, EDG able to go through in those conjunctions on top of the blue buff this time around. Plus wolves are spawning.
This blue buff steal will really hurt Icon. Scout has been pushing in this wave consistently and making it a little bit more difficult for Icon to keep control of this mid lane, and now it's only gotten worse. Scout has a blue buff of his own, it's been denied from Icon, and he can't shove out this wave as much as he would like.
That's towards the top side, you can see that. Where's that top? It's not there. No blue buff spawning. Oh no. Well, JJ is behind in CS though. That's the one thing I'll say, that Hacker has been farming better. As the Rift Herald spawns, he's in front of it at the right time.
We do have Mako roaming up though. Cold is still down the bottom lane with SMLZ. This is the problem with the Varus, is he needs constant attention when he's in a lane against Misfortune and Nautilus. So Cold can't leave until they know for certain where Nautilus is, and now it's too late.
Ult comes in from Jinnu. OMG going to get engaged on. Hacker has to halt immediately, but Scout is there waiting on top of him. The Emperor's Divide divides him by 2. Hacker, goodbye. Kill number 2, that's what I'm on. And I think Curse is dead as well. OMG walking into the Rift Herald yet again. They're going to try and chase him, but Scout gets kill number 4.
Hope did move up just in case EDG found themselves in a bit of trouble. There it is. Mako with his 5,000th assist in the LPL. Big congratulations to him, as a lot of that play was set up thanks to him. We talked about how SMLZ needs to be babysat a little bit as this Varus, because if you run into or if you leave SMLZ alone in this bottom lane as Cold, it's too easy for Hope and Mako to dive onto him and then answer for any of these turret plates that the Rift Herald would have got. That's why Cold didn't move in the early stages. But because Mako knew that, he was able to get out of the bottom lane first, move up towards the Rift Herald, and by the time OMG realized that Mako's here, it's too late, he's already engaged on.
Have a look at this one again. Some good hooks from Mako. Well deserved on the 5,000. As Mako keeps starting these engages.
You see Hacker goes down. That's 1 kill over towards Scout. And they gift over this kill on Curse to Scout as well. So this Azir is now on 4 kills. Has the cull already nearly done as well. Only 31 left on that. So Scout is huge right now. Icon has been left in dust when it comes to the scaling.
Talk about the scaling elements, and he's so far from it at this point. You look across the board for EDG, they've got a 1.3k gold lead at 10 minutes in the game, and Scout happily farming through the mid lane. Hard for FLICKR to do anything here. And so the only element of OMG that you're saying congratulations is Curse towards this top lane. But even then, dying towards Scout before, the lead isn't as big as before.
And it doesn't matter if you set Jinu behind that much. He's a tank Maokai. He just hits W and hits Q, and that's pretty much his job. As long as he can survive a bit of the damage long enough to give Scout and Hope the opportunity to give out the damage that they have, that's what matters. And Scout, with the amount of damage he's picked up for himself, will be able to do that in bucket loads.
This is rolling through. Here comes Herald. OMG just have to back away from this one. Meanwhile, Hackers towards the top side. He's going for an invade, I believe, on the blue buff. EDG going to go for push number 2.
And we don't often praise EDG enough for how quickly they can accelerate their leads. They have a nearly 90% win rate when ahead at 15 minutes. And this is what we're seeing now come through from them.
No.
Here comes Scout for SMLZ.
SMLZ has ulti, but melee range gets shoved on back. The TP to match. Scout doesn't have enough mana. Oh, that was just unfortunate. The rest of EDG are going to come through with a great ultimate and pillar. Icon should die here as well, but I think Scout expected to kill him without the use of mana.
Scout thought he'd have a lot more damage feeling it this game, but unfortunately feels the cold embrace of death on that one.
Okay, Flash Cyclone going to come through here though. Jinu looking to get out. He'll flash away towards the turret. Heat 2 does not have mana. A lot burnt, but OMG now in a position to strike back.
Well, they aren't really, because EDG are pushing in the bottom lane. They're getting their own turret plates. You've got JJ who's soloing out this dragon, so EDG are still coming out on top in these trades.
Somehow, some way, turret plating taking this bottom side, 3k gold lead. The mountain started off here with Ocean spawning right after it as well. Teleport being used to the top side, that is Jinu.
Hold on to the tower. This is what you want.
Yep.
So EDG, Jinu, bit of a brave call because it was the potential to be potentially dove on, but once he saw Icon in the mid lane, knows he can hold off against the 3 people as this very beefy Maokai, and now EDG have answered for all the turret plates in the bottom lane. This is a really strong performance from EDG and why we're looking at them in those top spots in the table.
One more game win secures playoffs here yet again to hammer that home. Scout farming mid here with a 10 CS lead over this now Rod of Ages. Cassidy. Scout doesn't have a level lead right now, but the freedom to roam here and look for where Icon is. The second blue buff available here for Scout to take away.
And you can already see Mako moving over to help him out. You've got JJ who's trying to get over here to try and steal that away as well and just make Icon's day as bad as possible on this Cassidy. Meanwhile, Hope can start to push in that bottom lane as well to make sure that SMLZ, if he wants to try and contest for this, is losing some of that CS to the turret.
Painful to be on you right now. Where's Hacker? Hacker has been farming all game long. Where is he? He's up top. He's farming again.
This is the problem when you go for this Echo pick and why I was looking more so at the Lee Sin. If you're going to especially go for the likes of this Cassidy, you need a strong early game jungler that can supplement the fact that you're going to be waiting for Cassidy to come online. Echo also needs time to come online, so you're giving this entire early game over to EDG. And with a team like EDG, you cannot do that. They found their advantages and they're running away with it.
I'll say this is a kill when the Cassidy gets here, but Junu's going to ult now, probably the wrong direction. Double Cyclone holds him up. Icon ready to Realm Warp over the wall, and he does. Rather, Rift Walk at this point. And Junu's just out again.
So Jinu's able to escape. You've lost your tower on the bottom side as OMG. EDG are starting to collapse on towards this top lane. And unfortunately for Icon, with all this moving about that EDG are doing, he hasn't really had time to go into a lane and just farm up some stats, some gold and some experience. And he's now sitting behind in CS when it comes to Scout, behind in kills of course when it comes to Scout, but hasn't been able to get this lead snowballing where he can get a couple of levels for himself.
1,600 gold taken through tower plating here for EDG.
Look
They're
at Hope.
spanking OMG here in the second game. It is a 4.5k gold lead at this point. Scout now looking towards the top turret. I believe in the last outer remaining. I can't remember catching mid. No, we got rid of mid before. We got rid of inner mid before. There's JJ now here as well.
EDG quickly snowballing this game out of control, and OMG seem to be looking at the minimap going, wait a second, how can they be everywhere at once? It's consistently EDG backing and as a unit moving together, picking off blue buff into a tower, into Scout and JJ now moving to support the likes of Hope. It just feels like it's non-stop aggression from EDG, and OMG are watching them whiz past.
I mean, they're not doing anything. OMG are just not doing anything at all. And Curse right now trying to be the most proactive one against Jinnu. Now looking for the bottom play. OMG looking to make their, what feels like their first move in a sense.
They are trying to make a play into Jinnu, but Trundle, JJ is soloing at the Rift Tower while this goes on. OMG need this to be successful or they're still losing out on the map.
Parallel Convert's going to come down on top of Jinnu here. The Twisted Advance, the Solar Flare on top now finally might have the damage to kill Jinnu. Is he going to go down? Yes, he is with Z-Drive Resonance. As Mako for the re-engage. The slow down here with the help of Misfortune. Mako does pull in cold. And here comes Scout. It's a 1-for-1 trade in the end. OMG are behind, so that'll make it worthwhile.
And watch how EDG are responding to the pressure OMG put down. They leave mid lane because they've shoved that in far enough that you don't have to worry about SMLZ taking mid lane turret, so they respond to bottom side play. JJ, after securing Rift Herald, can respond to Icon pushing in this top lane. It just feels like EDG have figured out OMG.
Oh, maybe not if you find out Scout here. He's going to ult send them back, but Curse has gap close. However, not available to use it.
Flash wasn't quite there to try and get that second Cyclone, so no way to close the distance to get onto Scout once again. And here we go, EDG farming them up. You can actually look at Scout and how far ahead he is when it comes towards his items. Already we've talked about having the full Nashor's Tooth. That Cull is now popped, and he's going to be in great shape where he's already picked up some of the CDR, the Blasting Wand as well, to provide a bit of extra damage. Like, he is accelerating so quickly in this game.
You say that Azir is his best champion, his 9th game of Azir, and you can see why. Consistency is here. Now, a couple of times been caught out by OMG. But still, you'd say, having a pretty great game. Banshee's Veil, second item picked up here. Versus Icon's 5-stack Rod of Ages with a tier that wouldn't be anywhere near completion. EG going to pick up their second dragon and spawn the Cloud Rift.
And when you've got a composition that is so heavily into that AP damage with AP jungle, AP mid laner, and even SMLZ going this on-hit build, providing a decent chunk of mixed damage, Banshee's Veil makes the most amount of sense, as well as providing you the opportunity to escape away from a knock-up coming through from Curse, the Solar Flare from Cold. You've got really good resistances against a large chunk of the damage of
Hope being highlighted here in the bottom of your screen, 9.5 CS a minute at the under 15-minute mark as well. 2K over SMLZ at this point as well. That's just another insane start as part of EDG's progress here in the second game. They're looking like they're ready for playoffs at this point. Capitalizing on OMG, and OMG getting forced back here. Starting to pay attention to this lane, bringing multiple members down.
Keep your eyes on mid as well. EDG, it's never just one lane where they're making their attention known. They're consistently pushing in several, and now they're grouping on the bottom lanes so then they can make this Rift Herald play.
So much more gold to take. Where's the Cassidy? Icon towards the top side, matching the Maokai. Well, something needs to be done because they're going forward.
Second charge, the Rift Herald here, and you see the poke is very strong. Hope still holding on to the bullet time. No minion wave here to finish it off just yet, but still EDG are accruing such a strong gold lead before we hit the 20-minute mark where Baron spawns.
They've set up their little sun turret as well, so...
This is their home for a while.
Yeah. Parallel conversion is so hard to lock onto EDG's members. The second wave to come through, inhibitor turret going to go down. Icon does back away now, but turret's already gone. They're going to get the pull in onto Fake Curse. Now EDG back away, they've done the damage.
And now EDG, with this Baron spawn in just a few minutes, can create a slow push on this bottom lane where they can have the minions take this inhibitor turret or force the like of Curse or Icon to deal with that pressure while they go and take control of the river and top jungle.
Man, 3-0 and 3 though on Hope. We're looking at him just before we saw that play. Infinity Edge Essence Reaver picked up, farming quite well. 210 CS at 19 minutes in is impressive. At this point in the game, the only person losing out on CS really within their lane is towards that top side for the Maokai, but he doesn't care. He's going to do the same thing that he's done every other game.
And pretty much every carry on EDG has had some sort of goal or bounty on the mat right now. Scout had one, although he did hand it over. Hope now is sitting with one on his head, as well as JJ on this Trundle. So you can just see how far ahead EDG as a whole are in this scenario. OMG have got to find some way to take these back, but it still relies on them waiting on Icon to come in with some of these crucial items. He already has the Archangel Staff finished, which will help out a bit in that regard for OMG, but it feels like it's so difficult with the Emperor's Divide from Scout, with the CC provided by Jinu and Mako, for Icon to really have the same sort of impact we expect from a Kassadin who's getting to this 13 to 16 levels.
One of the rare times we see in the LPL where Kassadins are not fed early on through the skirmishing, where they're actually set behind. One of the downfalls of this champion as well, that he needs so long. As EDG looking for him in the bottom lane, you can see the movement coming down from Hope as well. 1 minute 30 till this Dragon. They control the bottom side for now, sorry, top side. As Jinu's going to be targeted on, but EDG coming through the choke now. Teleport's coming through. The Soul Flare on top of Hope. Good target selection. FLICKR flashing in though. He wants Hope. Will he find him? Not quite. As EDG now have Scout to play with. And this has gone wrong once again. They'll get Jinu, but he was the tank. It took so long. Streamer Shuffle not available. Icon is going to be able to run away here, but OMG is sent packing.
And EDG can now look to take this Explosive Inhibitor.
Is it going to be over from here, though? I mean, Icon's still getting poked out. Kassadin dead again. Is the game just done? Well, Inhibitor at the very least.
10 seconds on Hacker and on Curse. It's not quite over, but it definitely is starting to feel like it. Now EDG can back away. They can look to get vision in this jungle as they go towards their third Dragon. But that fight was nearly what OMG would have loved. Multiple different angles for Curse, Icon, and Hacker to get in onto the back line, but unfortunately, Scout is just too damn big right now. So even when they get Hope out of the fight, OMG can't deal with Scout's Azir.
At the end of the day, Mako again, 009. So much work to get Hope. But Hacker, I think he flashed into a wall, let's be quite honest. We'll see what happens when we go back in the replay. But 7k gold lead now, Cloud Dragon to make the Cloud Soul a reality for EDG. They have wrapped their presence, they're just looking to tie the ribbon around it.
OMG aren't going to fight for this. Look at where Cold is. They've gifted this over. They just want to try and secure some vision for themselves around this Baron area. So now they come back and look to reinforce that vision as EDG go to clear it out.
Up they go. Ping's coming down, they're going, hey, let's hit mid instead. Wait for the bottom wave to shove in, coordinate, and then let's play.
And now this is a scary team for you to try and run into as OMG. You don't really have anyone that's particularly tanky. Even Cold right now isn't really able to deal with how much damage EDG have. So trying to get this vision control back is going to be a slow, arduous process as EDG look to hide out just out of vision.
Hacker does have the chrono shift, but with CC, you're just going to die before you can use it. He doesn't step out of the brush, that would have been his demise. But EDG, there's still that ward towards the side of the pit. They need to clear that one out, but instead starting to Baron.
They'll do this reasonably quickly, but OMG are in the area, so they won't be able to finish this off without OMG getting a sniff.
Needed Hope in as well, but looks like pulling off of the Baron for now.
And with all the farming that Hacker has done earlier on in the game, he does have a level advantage over JJ when it comes to the smite. But with the amount of damage and poke that EDG have, it's going to be very difficult for Hacker to get into this pit without taking a bunch of damage.
Can we do it secretly though? Again, that ward from OMG. So sneaky. They know.
And there's not really the vision cover in this OMG jungle for EDG to figure out where Hacker and them are going to be.
Great blind with his Misfortune ultimate. And Hacker can't use his. Easy as that if you know how. Baron for me. Oh, you missed Smarter, but that's okay. It goes on down. 4 versus 5 now. And this could be the game, but OMG know better. They need to back away. But the push still yet to come from EDG.
They're going to go collect this top lane wave and try and crack one more inhibitor for themselves. If they can get this top lane inhib down before that Dragon Soul spawns in just over 3 minutes, they are going to be set up sweetly for that objective.
EDG just looking the goods here in the second game. Are they ready for playoffs? I said it in game one, absolutely. This game has confirmed that here. OMG on their last legs here in this series. Curse here with the flank, but JJ finds him first. They continue pushing up, and now Curse has to get out of there. The Pillar and the Cyclone. Scout, this is his ult. That's not something I normally say. 2 ultimates down, 1 from either side.
Still EDG are set up here with the Baron buff though, and can look to rinse and repeat. They forced back several members of OMG, and now they can take the pop shots at the tower with this minion wave.
Remember that not many items available on OMG if they want to do the damage. Icon has to run away yet again. Hacker now returning here as well.
2 inhibs down, Dragon in 2 minutes. EDG are looking to close this out in a 2-0, and for OMG, this now spells big issues for them coming in towards our end of the split. They still have that game on Monday against WE, but coming in with a 0-2 in this game will not set them up nicely with the game difference that we've been talking so extensively about.
Such a hard run. They'd look back on this, and if they go against WE in a position to snag playoffs, a 0-2 could be the thing that actually sets it up for WE so nicely. So keep in the back of your mind that OMG are not out of playoffs with a loss here. But as Dagda just said, it makes it super, super hard. As EDG have done within this series itself. 9k gold lead just about. EDG have 1 more inhibitor turret to break through the mid lane. Super's channeling through the bottom lane itself, rather normal minions. And now it begins.
They're not even trying to fight it. 45 seconds still before that Baron buff is gone. Well, EDG would take that inhib. That respawn one is not going to last long either, Hysterics.
Not for very much longer. Scout clears it away. And up towards the top side, JG probably doesn't have to, but wants to anyway. Baron for 30 seconds. Scout's going to TP in and try and end this one.
They really want to finish off this game, and why the hell not? 27 minutes seems like a grand old time for them.
13 kills to 5. OMG down almost 10k. The last fight to begin, it seems. The Scout hitting from the backside. Hacker with a super early ultimate. And Mako knocks away Cold. So does SMLZ. A double turn triple at the end of the day as Icon sent packing as well. That game 2 was epically easy. OMG 0-2, but EDG making playoffs, bringing top esports with them.